There are still major questions, though, relative to what they're going to do with their future. And if we can call up SOT 12, what are they going to do with Kyrie Irving? Masai Ujiri is clearly a fan.
Kevin Durant once told me that there's only one Kyrie walking around in the world. Yeah, I think we have to figure out a way, how Kyrie fits with our program. And I've had those conversations with Kyrie up till yesterday. And I think Kyrie will fit. As I said it before, there's a huge curiosity in our minds to see how Kyrie fits playing with Cooper Flag. He's just that kind of like an incredible talent and player. And I think we owe this organization that. I'm sorry that it could not happen with Jason Kidd. He has the ultimate respect, I think, for Jason Kidd. I'm not even going to speak for Kyrie and relationship, and I take responsibility for this decision. But my goal is to put him in a place where he's successful here.
That sounds pretty definitively like Kyrie Irving isn't going anywhere. He's not trade bait for future first-round picks. He's going to be around for this organization, and he's going to be paired up with Cooper Flag going forward. That was right? That sounded pretty definitive.
It did. So now I think this is one of the first opportunities that we'll have to see Masai Ujiri basically back up what he says in a press conference of this setting, because so far it's all been kind of what you said, like positive spirits, we're in a new era, positive vibes, which this place desperately needed. So I think he's definitely doing the right thing there. But I do think, we've talked about this in how many different settings, right? Like you hear one thing at a podium and then a Jerry Jones goes and trades Michael Parsons a couple days later, I think this will be telling because truthfully, like one of the things that Mike Schmidt's the GM that Masai had a really good relationship with prior and brought over from Portland to be the GM here. One of the things he's known for is his ability to scout, and he's really, really good in the draft and in the prep process and preparation for the draft. So without many draft picks, what's Mike Schmidt's doing? I'm just kidding. But I do think that we know this. They're in a situation where they need to figure out how they acquire draft capital. Obviously, Kyrie Irving is the biggest piece to that puzzle if they were ever interested in trading to gain for that. However, as you said, his words today suggest there will be no trading of Kyrie Irving. Now we wait and see, does he back that up with no trade, or do we eventually see something happen later on down the line?
Or is this him trying to
persuade,
elevate the value of Kyrie Irving relatively?
That's what I mean. This is our first real opportunity to see kind of, okay, what's he actually doing?
But in case it wasn't clear, everything you hear in a press conference isn't always gospel.
Don't worry, Tad Carper will let you know that before the press conference begins.
Right before Bill Clinton walks into the room.
He's a true one. Yeah, he's a real one.
Where Kyrie is concerned, though, I think this is twofold. One, now that Jason Kidd is gone, that was such a touchstone for Cooper Flag's development that I think you can still keep around if Kyrie is there. Because Kyrie's experience from a point guard position and seeing the floor, I'm not going to say it's equal to Jason, who has the entire breadth of his career, but it's about as close as you could get to a floor general. And seeing how Cooper can interact with someone of that caliber would be a significant advantage for him early in his career. Because remember, he's 19. If he's picking this stuff up before he even turns 20, that's a huge boon. Additionally, if you're going to take a guard in the draft, you want that guard to learn under Kyrie. That's a nice person to learn off of. Keeping him around the organization does a lot, but also from the respect angle. I think a lot of Mavs fans, for as much flack as the organization took, a lot of it was also because Kyrie got injured trying to lift the team that was left.
Yes.
And having the respect to keep Kyrie around and let Mavs fans have, even if it is a proper send-off, just to have him back on the court so his last memory in this uniform is not crying, trying to hit a free throw and make sure he's still contributing to a team that wants to try and do something that season. It is... As much as the moving on from Jason Kidd is part of healing the Luka part, bringing Kyrie back and letting him at least have a couple games to have those moments with Mavs fans again as another significant healing portion for this fan base.
I do kind of feel like the best move for them as an organization is to keep Kyrie on the roster for this offseason and at least for the first half of next season.
Yeah.
One, because we all want to see, okay, does it work? Do they fit together, Cooper and Kyrie? If it really, really works, roll with it. If it works, but you kind of feel like, hey, the best move for us is to trade him at the deadline because, again, even if they fit really well together from a player perspective, their timelines are
Radically different. Yes.
Opposite
there's
ends of the
almost no
spectrum.
way for them to fit from a timeline perspective. So that's probably your best move, is to move him at the deadline, get future first round draft capital for him. Maybe he plays really well the first half of the year and it elevates the value you can get for him. I feel like that's probably their best case scenario with this, unless he just plays like crazy and we could never trade him because he's amazing
Right.
and they fit so well together.